Hello, everybody. Welcome to the NBC Game of the Week, 1986 style. Rotation has taken us to payoff pitch. Kind of restarted the rotation after the All-Star break. We went with inside pitch for the All-Star game, so second in order is the payoff pitch. And the game today, just so I can get the Minnesota Twins in, this was not an actual game of the week, I don't believe, but I needed to get the Twins in, and this was a good time to do it. So the Twins take on the Baltimore Orioles from Memorial Stadium. On the mound for the Orioles, left-hander Mike Flanagan. He'll be opposed by another left-hander, Neil Heaton. One notable absence on the lineup for the Orioles is that Eddie Murray went on the disabled list on July the 10th. So I think that's why he didn't play in the All-Star game. I didn't know that, so I used him in the All-Star game. But he went on the disabled list July 10th, did not come back until first part of August. So that's why he is not in the lineup or on the roster. So I kind of missed that one on the All-Star game, but what are you going to do? All right. Thank you. Welcome to Brian B., Robert from RJL Network, and Kenyon Gray. Nice to have you all spend part of the Saturday afternoon with me. Again, payoff pitch. Let me get everything set up. The one good thing about doing live is I can look and see what you guys are seeing on my computer. So I can move this board around and put it where I think it's best to be seen, whereas I'm recording, I can't tell unless I stand up and look through the phone. So much easier to do it this way. So hopefully that looks all right. I think everything fits at this point from what I can tell. Looks like everything will fit in there. Hopefully the audio is okay. Hopefully, like I said, I bought one of those little Wi-Fi extenders, and I've got that just right outside the door. So hopefully that's keeping the Wi-Fi signal going well. Baltimore Orioles are the home team, so they get the Oriole colors. We got black and orange on the D6s, and of course the black and white for the D10s. I do have the fast action cards with me today. Not sure if I'm going to do the fast action cards or the charts. I may switch off and do the fast action cards today just to be different. Not 100% sure how I want to handle that, but I might just do that. So I think I'm going to shuffle these up a little bit, and then we'll set them basically right here. Can't really see them on camera per se, but you can see as I pull them off. And actually, I think I can pull this down just a hair and still make it fit. So maybe you see more of the fast action cards. I don't know. But of course, when I flip them, I'll put them in play where you can see them. Less glare. Yeah, I turned the lamp down to a little bit less brightness. So I'm hoping that helps. Let me try turning the overhead light off and see if that makes any difference. The light for the actual room, I turned that off. Let me see if that's going to make any difference or not. Or whether it becomes too dark. I don't know. That may be too dark. It's a work in progress checking this lighting. We'll see how that does. That might make it worse. I don't know. I may have to go back to the way I had it. Let's see. Does that look okay as it is? It looks fairly okay to me. There's a slight bit of glare right in here, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal because the cards aren't going to be there, aren't going to be in that position. So I think we'll be okay with that. I do want to have it where all the dice are showing, so even if I get in these little Bermuda Triangle areas, I want the dice to be able to be seen, so that nothing is blinded or out of focus or out of the picture or whatever. All right, so I think we are ready to go. I do have the score sheet here from Payoff Pitch. When I bought the '86 season, they had this pre-filled, I should say. So they're easy to download for free. Nice little touch there. From Payoff Pitch. And I understand now the printed sets are no longer on the website for sale. I think there's some more health issues going on that I'm not privy to, but just little notices that I've gotten. So hopefully everybody at Payoff Pitch is doing well, and hopefully those printed sets will come back online soon. Can always get the PDFs, of course. Hey Larry, how are you doing? Nice to see you here as well. All right, I think since we're into this, we might as well go ahead and get it going. And Mike Flanagan on the season, 7-11 with 4.24 ERA. 29 starts, 29 games, 28 games started, 2 complete games. Has a wheelhouse at number 2, but everything else looks, like a decent card. And we'll get the lineup going here for the Twins. It is Kirby Puckett to lead things off. So I'm going to check to see how he does here. I may need to move this up just a bit. Brandon, of course, Ripken is playing. He's got his consecutive game streak, so he would have to play, you would think. Let's see. Everything there. The only thing that might be missing on, and this is the only downside, that's why I like the printed sets better, is the outs are down here instead of on the side. So the printed sets, the setup for the printed sets to me are a lot better than having the outs down here. Just my personal preference, but the PDFs do have more stats on them. A little bit better, more complete stats on them than the printed sets. But anyway, that's where we're going with that. All right, so well, glad you can make it, Larry. Today is July the 16th, I believe it is. So this game was actually played July 19th, so we're a little bit off on the dates. But, 86 to 2022, it's going to be a little different. All right. First batter up is Kirby Puckett, and we're underway in the game of the week. And we get an 8, which on Flanagan is in play, and we got an 0-8. In play 0-8 against a left-hander. That's a base hit for Kirby Puckett. So how about that? Kirby Puckett gets himself a base hit to start the ball game for the Twins. And I don't have a whole lot of room in the man cave to put my score sheet, so I'm going to have to kind of score this in my lap, I think. Clipboard is in my lap, so a little bit unorthodox, but we'll go with it. All right, so Gary Gaetti is the number 2 hitter against Mr. Flanagan. We get a 5, and that is in play again, 85. 85 is well out of range. 85 is a ground ball to short. The 2D6 number, or 2D6 is total of 5. His double plays an 8. His double plays an 8. So that's going to be a good double play. Definitely a good double play. 6-4-3. Twin killing. Literally the twin killing. And 2 quick outs. Turned in by Mike Flanagan. Pitcher's best friend, that double play. Here's Kent Herbeck. Hit 270 against the lefties. We get a 6, and that is Patient 27. Patient 27 is going to be a walk for Herbeck. So good thing for Flanagan, they got the double play, because now here come the Twins with more base runners. And with 2 outs, it'll be Mr. Herbeck on the base paths here at Old Memorial Stadium. It would be several years before they moved to Camden Yards. Actually, 6 more years. It was 1992 before they moved to Camden Yards. All right, that brings up Roy Smalley, the switch hitting designated hitter. Actually, what did I do here? Did I skip? I skipped Bernansky. My bad. I picked up 2 cards at one time. It's actually Bernansky that gets to hit. Sometimes these PDF cards stick together. So it is going to be Bernansky. It's a good thing I have my lineup right here to figure it out. So it is going to be Bernansky. And he will step up with 2 outs and a runner at first. That is a 3. 3 is defense. All right. So what I'm going to do on defense is I'm going to use a fast action card and figure out who the defensive check is on. And then we're going to look at the 2 D10s right above on the next card to see if he fields it or not. So I'm not going to use any dice. I'm going to use fast action cards only for defense. So we flip the card, and defense says we're looking at the range of the shortstop, Cal Ripken. Cal Ripken's range is a B. So on Memorial Stadium, B, 1 to 41 is a hit, 42 to 99 is going to be an out. We're looking at the 2D10 number on the next fast action card to see if it's 41 or above, or 42 or above. It's a 95, so Cal Ripken will make the play. I'm not really worried where he goes with it. I'm just going to say he does the fielder's choice thing to second base for the short, easy out, and the inning is over. So nothing doing for the Twins, mostly because of that double play. And Flanagan gets out of any potential trouble. We go to the bottom of the first. Twins nothing, Orioles coming to bat, and Neil Heaton, the lefty, is up. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're 2 days away from Robert's 1961 opener. I believe it's on a Monday. I believe it's Monday evening, I think. And White Sox and the Senators from D.C. All right, so Alan Wiggins will lead things off for the Orioles. The bottom of the first. That's an 8, which is in play. That's a 17. 17 in play against the lefty. It's a base hit for Alan Wiggins. So Alan Wiggins is aboard. And he is definitely a threat to steal. He stole 21 bases on the season. Now, his stolen base chance here, if we go by the automated steals, he's a 6. That's an 8, so he cannot steal. So he will not steal here because he didn't get the right dice roll that he needed. But he is aboard on a base hit, so good speed. Runs at an 8. So he's definitely a threat on the base pass. That'll bring up Lee Lacy, the right fielder. That is in a 12, and 12 is defense again. So we're going to the defensive chart once again, and the fast action card says we're looking at an error on Kent Hrbek, possibly. So a possible error on Hrbek. Hrbek's error rating is a 3. So if we go to Memorial Stadium, a 3, 1 to 49 will be an error. 50 or better, he'll make the play. It's a 74, so he makes the play. It is going to be an out, and if we look at the out to an infielder, it's ground ball plus advance. So the fast action card says that Wiggins will advance to second base on the ground ball by Lee Lacy. Hrbek's only play is to take it to the bag himself. Wiggins is in scoring position with 1 out for Freddie Lynn. Lefty on lefty matchup. 5 is tough. 26, first tough result, and we get a strikeout based on that. So Neil Heaton puts the K on Freddie Lynn. 2 down, and now it's up to Cal Ripken if the Orioles are going to cash in this inning. Wiggins, great speed on first base. Any single, he will score automatically because his run rating's at 8 and there are 2 outs, so he will score automatically on any hit. That's a 10. That's ballpark, and that is 61. 61 for a right-hander is in play, so we're going to Cal Ripken's in-play result. Against a left-hander, it's a 74. That's going to be a fly to center, and the inning is over. So Wiggins stranded at second, and both teams put runners on but can't make anything happen. We go to the second, no score from Memorial Stadium. Yeah, RJL, I noticed in the 61 set, there were a couple of names that were a little bit differently pronounced than what I normally would hear, but it didn't bother me a bit. I didn't think you butchered any of them, but I mean, there were a couple minor ones, but it's all good. Okay, Roy Smalley will step up, the designated hitter. He will lead off here in the top of the second. He will switch around to bat right-handed. Against the lefties, he only hit a .138, whereas he hit .262 against righties, so he's definitely at a disadvantage taking on Flanagan. That's a 7. It's tough. 73, that's going to be out of range. 73 is a fly to center. Put away out there by Freddie Lynn, 1 away. And that will bring up the left fielder, Mickey Hatcher. He feasted on lefty pitching. He hit .364 against lefties in 140 at-bats, but only .209 against righties in 177 at-bats. So definitely loaded towards left-handed pitching. That's why he's in the lineup in left field in place of maybe somebody like Randy Bush. If they're playing right-handed pitcher, Randy Bush would have probably been in left field. All right, there's a 5, and that is in play, 28. 28 against the lefty in play is a base hit for Mickey Hatcher, as you might expect since he hit so well against them. He gets that base hit. So Mickey Hatcher, 1 out single by Mickey Hatcher, and the Twins have base runners again. Kind of expect this to be a higher scoring game because neither pitcher is all that great, and both teams have good offenses but poor pitching. So here is Steve Lombardozzi. That's an 11, which is ballpark, and that's a 91, so we're in play. In play for Steve Lombardozzi against the lefty. He needs a 28 or less to get a hit. He does not. It's a 64. 64 is a ground ball to second. Could be a double play, but the original result was an 11 on the 2D6s. And when there's an 11, that means the runner advances. 12 and 11, the runner advances. So runner advances, Mickey Hatcher makes it to second base. The only play on Lombardozzi is to go to first and get him out. And that is made by Wiggins. His only play was a throw to first for out number 2. And now it's up to Tim Laudner to get the hit he needs for his team. Flanagan, 8 is in play, and that is an 0-2. In play 0-2 is a double to left, or a double by Tim Laudner. Hatcher will score, and the Twins lead it 1-0 on the double by Tim Laudner. So a 2-out double by Laudner, and the Twins are up 1-0 with 2 outs here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up shortstop Greg Gagne with the spoon. Interesting how he pronounces his name Gagne, because the wrestling family, Gagne family, pronounces it Gagne. Same with Eric Gagne from the Dodgers. He pronounces it Gagne, but this one is Greg Gagne. I always remember that because it was in the 80s, and the Gagne with the spoon was kind of a cult saying. Flanagan now 6 is patient. 14, that's a walk. So Greg Gagne will reach on a 2-out walk. That'll put 2 base runners on, and Flanagan in a little bit of trouble here in the second inning. Got to deal with the top of the order and Kirby Puckett. Puckett did single his first chance. That's a 9. That's tough. 45. But Puckett against a lefty on a 45 is going to double. How about that? He doubles. Laudner will score. Gagne, his run rating is a 7, so with 2 outs, he will score as well. It is now 3-0 Twins here in the second inning, as Kirby Union Gap Puckett gets a big 2-out double. All this going on with 2 outs. 2-out rallies, as they call it. 3-0 Twins. And that'll bring up Gary Gaetti. 5, and that is in play 23. That's more trouble. In play 23 is a base hit. Puckett runs at a 7. He will automatically score. Base hit for Gaetti. I'm going to have to stop writing in these numbers till the inning's over because they keep scoring. So, again, Puckett with another hit. It is now 4-0 favor of the Twins. And bullpen activity already going on. Rich Bordy, the righty, is loosening for the Orioles. Here's Herbeck. That's an 11. That's ballpark, but it's a 96, so we're in play for Herbeck. He needs a 31 or less. 93, though, is not going to cut it. That's a fly to right. The inning is finally over, but the Twins put up a 4 spot here in the second inning. Lead it 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. And the Oriole fans not exactly happy about the goings-on here at Memorial Stadium. The guy who is Neil Heaton. He's got a 4-run lead to work with. And in the absence of Eddie Murray, Juan Beniquez will be playing first base and up to the plate. He did hit .336 against the lefties. That's an 11. That's wheelhouse, and that's a 20. Beniquez's wheelhouse against a lefty, that's gone. Home run, as RJL would say, kaboom. And Juan Beniquez, who needs Eddie Murray? You got Juan Beniquez. He does homers. Cuts the lead to 4-1. As Neil Heaton put that right in the old wheelhouse, and Beniquez did not miss it. Here's Rick Dempsey, the catcher. 8 is in play. 79, though, that's out of range. 79 is going to be a fly to center. And there's one away for the designated hitter, Mike Young. Switch hitter. Does a little bit better against the lefties. 272 versus 242 against the righties. That is a 5, which is tough. 13, he's going to be out on strikes. Oops. So Young with the whiff, and that brings up, I think they called him Sugar Bear Floyd Rayford. All I know is he was a big fat dude. Not very good either. He hit 194 against lefties. Decent power, but not much of an average, and his defense was horrible. All right, we got 4, which is patient 44. Patient 44 for Floyd Rayford. I talk about him, and he gets a base hit. How about that? 2-out single for Floyd Rayford. And obviously, he's not going to run anywhere. Even when the ball is hit, he's going to waddle. He's not going to run. So Rayford is aboard. That brings up the number 9 hitter, John T-Bone Shelby. That's a 9. That's in play. 95, though, is out of range. It's a fly to right, and the inning's over. So the Orioles get 1 on the home run from Beniquez. And at the end of 2, it's the Twins 4, and the Orioles 1. So Earl Weaver has to figure out how long he wants to stick with Flanagan. He's a veteran. He's one of Weaver's favorites, so he might give him a little bit longer leash. But if you go too much farther, it could be Katie bar the door, and you definitely don't want to get to the fatigue pitcher card, because that would not be good. Here is Tom Brunansky. 7 is tough. 56 against the lefty. It's out of range. 56 is a ground ball to third. And big fat Floyd Rayford makes the play somehow or another. 1 away for Roy Smalley. That's a 7. That's tough. 88. Tough 88 is a ground ball to second. And easy play for Wiggins. So Flanagan settling down here in the 3rd inning. Maybe Cal Ripken Sr., Ray Miller, or whoever the pitching coach was at the time, maybe is settling him down a little bit. Maybe Earl just had to talk to him. Here's Hatcher. Well, that's a Suadice, so we'll re-roll all that. That's a 9. That's tough. 13 struck him out. So much better inning for Flanagan this time around. And he gets through the order 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Still 4-1. Favor the Twinks. And we're back to the top of the order. And Alan Wiggins. That is a 6, which is patient. 0-3. That's a walk. So a leadoff walk to Wiggins. He's aboard again, doing what leadoff men are supposed to do. But again, let's see. This is a 6. So let's look at his card. Wiggins is a 6, so he is going to get a jump to steal. He is a steal rating of B. The catcher arm, Laudner, is a 3. So if we look at the B and the 3 on the chart, B and a 3 is very good. So we're going to flip a card, next fast action card, looking under the very good section of stealing, and see what happens. He's safe on a very good, so stolen base for Wiggins. He will steal. He's at second base in scoring position with nobody out for Lee Lacy. Hello, Replay Gamer. Good to see you. Missed some of your videos lately. I hope you do some more History Maker golf. I always enjoyed watching your History Maker golf stuff. One day I will get that game eventually, and I've got a lot of videos to use for learning purposes, especially how to set the first 3 rounds up. It seems very, very interesting. Sort of a lot like, sort of kind of reminds me of the qualifying for red, white, and blue racing. It's kind of the same kind of pattern. All right, here's Lee Lacy. That's a 9. That's in play. It's an 0-3. In play 0-3 is a double, and that'll score Wiggins. So an RBI double from Lee Lacy cuts the lead to 4-2. So back come the Orioles. I thought this might be a slugfest of some kind. Maybe not power-wise, but certainly run-wise. And this may be coming to fruition. Lee Lacy, the 1-out double, cuts the lead to 4-2. Brings up Freddie Lynn. That is a 9. That is in play. 34. That's out of range. 34 is a pop to short. So he pops it up. Gagne puts it away. 1 down. Lacy cannot advance. And that'll bring up Cal. Still a chance with only 1 out to do some damage. That's a 4, which is patient. 84. Patient 84 against the lefty is out of range. Only goes to 74. 84 is a ground ball to short. And Lacy will have to hold at second base. 2 down. And here's Beniquez. He homered his first time up. He's taking the place of the injured Eddie Murray, who's on the disabled list. Can he do it again? Cool, Brandon. I'm not sure how you convert it into Indy cars, but it is a decent game. I really need to get that back out at some point because I did enjoy the few times I did play it, and I do have the fictional Scram set, and they were a lot of fun. All right, here's Beniquez. 4 is patient. 13, that's a walk. So Beniquez draws a 2-out walk, and that puts the tying runs on base for Rick Dempsey. So can Dempsey get it done is the question. First and second, 2 down, and Rick Dempsey the batter. So now Heaton's the one in trouble. The heat is on Heaton. That is a 9, which is in play. 99, though. That's a fly to left to end the inning. But the Orioles do get a run back and cut the lead to 4-2 after 3 complete here at Memorial Stadium. Flanagan has a fatigue of 6, and Heaton has a fatigue of 7. So we're still good as far as fatigue goes, but you got to watch the runs allowed. You don't want to get to those tired pitcher cards. That would be disaster. All right, so Steve Lombardozzi will lead off for the Twins. He'll be followed by Laudner and Gagne, bottom of the order. 4-2 Twins, top of the 4th. Flanagan of 5 is in play. 0-6, that's going to be a double for Steve Lombardozzi. If we get those low numbers on the D10s in the in play, and that leads to extra base hits. So Lombardozzi with a leadoff double. And that's going to bring up the catcher, Tim Laudner. 5 is in play. Again, low numbers on the in play. 0-6. That's a base hit. Let's see if Lombardozzi can score. Runner on second scores according to the fast action card. So Lombardozzi will come in to score on the base hit by Tim Laudner. And the Twins take a 5-2 lead. And now the bullpen definitely going for the Orioles. Rich Bordy again warming up in that bullpen. And Earl Weaver might be just about ready to make that move. Gagne the batter. Still nobody out. 1 run is in. Flanagan needs a double play. 9 is tough. 71. You might get it. That's a ground ball to second. However, that's a 9, so we're not going to get a double play off a 9. We're just going to get a fielder's choice. So Laudner is retired, and Gagne will take over as the runner at first on the fielder's choice. Fielder's choice goes 4-6. But Ripken didn't have a relay play, so he just held on to it. And we're back to the top of the order for Kirby Puckett. He's had a couple of hits today. Hello, Sportsman Z. How are you doing? Hope your White Sox replay in payoff pitch is doing well. Puckett. It's a 10. That's in play. This time a higher number, 81. In play 81 is going to be a fly to center. That's out number 2, and Puckett is retired. And it's Gary Gaetti, the G-Man. Gary Gaetti. That's a 6, which is patient. 31. Now, 31 is a wild pitch by Flanagan. So, sometimes I forget to look for those, but I remember that time. Anything in the low 30s, you check for a wild pitch. Flanagan does have the 31. That's a 31. It is a wild pitch. So now Gary Gaetti has a chance to drive in Gagne. That is a 6, and that's patient. 0-0. We're going to the rare play chart. All right, rare play chart with runners on base. And a 6 is patient. So we're going to the runners on base chart. Patient rare play. And that chart is right here. A 2D10 roll figures out what's happening. That's runners on base, patient. So we're going to roll 2 D10s and see what happens. We get a 60 right on the number. Catcher expects a different pitch and the ball gets by him for a pass ball. All runners advance 1 base. Catcher with a D or F range lets the next pitch get by him for a second pass ball. Okay, the range of Dempsey is a C. So I think, no, it's a B rather. So it's not going to be a second wild, on top of that. But that's a second consecutive wild pitch for Flanagan because we had one on the 31 roll. Now we get one on the rare play. So with 2 outs, Gagne, courtesy of 2 wild pitches, moves from first to third. And now Flanagan really in deep doo-doo, facing Gaetti. And you know what? Earl Weaver has seen enough. He's going to pull Flanagan. That's it for Flanagan. They're going to the right-hander, Rich Bordy. He has a long fatigue rating. 52 games. He did start a game. 6-4, 4.46 ERA. So Rich Bordy will be coming on and try to get out of this mess. It's already 5-2. They don't want to give up another run if they can avoid it. Got to get Gaetti. That's a 3, which is tough. 0-9 struck him out. So Bordy comes in and does the job. And Weaver went with Flanagan for as long as he felt like he could. He just felt like Flanagan was falling apart. And it may have been the right move. We shall see. But a run for the Twins. They lead at 5-2 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. And it will be Mike Young, Floyd Rayford, and John Shelby due up for the Orioles in the bottom of the 4th as they try to come back from a 5-2 deficit. Switch hitting Mike Young. That's a 12. That's the defense. So we're going back to the defense with the fast action cards. We'll flip and see what we get. It says we're checking the range of the shortstop. That's Greg Gagne. And Gagne's range, if I look at my score sheet, Gagne's range is not very good. It's a D. Okay. So Gagne's a range of a D. So a 1 through 56 is going to be a hit. It's a 47. It will be a base hit. So Mike Young sneaks one past Gagne, who didn't show a lot of range on that play. And Young is aboard. Leadoff single. Brings up big fat Floyd Rayford. And is less than 200 average. But I guess Earl Weaver thought he could hit lefties. I don't know. He's an 8 double play rating, so definitely a threat to hit into a double play as well. That is a 6, which is patient. 54 just missed a hit. 52 would have been a hit. 54, however, is a fly to right, so at least it wasn't a double play. I guess that's a silver lining there. And John Shelby, the batter. John T-Bone Shelby. That's a 6, which is patient. 23, and that's going to be against a lefty, a triple for John Shelby. John T-Bone Shelby triples on a 23 through 24 versus lefty in the patient range. And we got a patient, and that's exactly what happened. So John Shelby, triple. And now the Orioles have cut the lead to 5-3, and they got a runner on third with only one out. And we go back to the top of the order for Alan Wiggins. The infield for the Twins is back. They want outs. They want to avoid the big inning. That's a 2, which is in play 89. In play 89 is a ground ball to second. Now, this is where it gets a little tricky in payoff pitch where I'm not really sure if he scores or not. I assume he will because the infield is back. Just seems to make sense. I mean, if you're playing the infield back, you're basically surrendering a run to prevent damage. So, Alan Wiggins a ground out for out number 2. And that'll bring up Lee Lacy. Two outs, base is clear. That's a 10. That's ballpark, and that's 39. That's going to be in the wheelhouse of Lee Lacy. Lee Lacy a chance to tie the game right here on a 1-36. He would do it. It's a 58, though. It's still going to be a base hit for Lee Lacy. So the runner would have scored anyway, as it turns out, regardless of the in or out. But Lee Lacy gets himself a single. Could have been a lot worse for the Twins. Could have been a 2-run shot that would have given the Orioles the lead, actually. But it's just going to be a 2-out single, and that brings up Fred Lynn. Heaton in trouble now. 9 is in play 38. In play 38 is out of range. 38's a pop to third. Gaetti puts it away, and that's going to do it for the Orioles here in the 4th. They're going to try to get Heaton through 5 innings so he can qualify for a win. I think that's what the manager is looking to do. Bordy back out. He only faced one batter, so he's definitely not tired. As we start the top of the 5th, it'll be Herbeck, Bernansky, and Smalley, heart of the order for the Twins. Whoops, I keep dropping the dice for some reason. That is an 8, which is tough. 81. Tough 81 is a fly to center, put away by Fred Lynn, one away. So maybe Rich Borey can stabilize the pitching and allow his team to come back in the ball game. Here's Brunansky. That's a 7 in play, and that's an 81. So another fly to center. So 2 consecutive flyouts to Fred Lynn. 2 down for Roy Smalley. Now he's facing a righty. His average much better at 262 versus the 138 he had against lefties. So Smalley a better chance for something here. 8 is tough, but when you roll tough, it could be trouble. But tough 40 is a double. Now, had he been facing a lefty, that would have been a strikeout. But against a right-hander, that's a double. So how about that? Roy Smalley likes hitting against those righties. And Roy Smalley with the double. 2-out double. And, of course, back in the second inning, the Twins did all their damage with 2 outs. So just because there's 2 outs doesn't mean anything. Twins say we can score as many runs as we want with 2 outs. Here's Mickey Hatcher. Bordy, a 10 is ballpark, 50, and that's in the wheelhouse. So we're going to Mickey Hatcher's wheelhouse. It's only a 1-7 for a home run, but up through a 39, he gets a hit. Otherwise, the inning's over. It's an 0-1. It is gone. A 2-run homer from Mickey Hatcher. Go figure. He's got a 1-7. We roll an 0-1. So it's a 2-run bomb for Mickey Hatcher. And just like that, the Twins now lead it 7-4, and the explosion of offense that I was expecting is now coming through in spades. And Rich Bordy maybe not be the answer for the Orioles either. Here's Steve Lombardozzi, and I really like pitching duels, so I was kind of squeamish about using this game, but I had to get the Twins in somewhere or another to make them, because I wanted every team in there at least one Saturday, and this was the game for the Twins. All right, so we got 7 is in play, 59, finally getting out. 59 to fly to right to end the inning. But the 2-run homer off the bat of Mickey Hatcher gives the Twins a 7-4 lead. And now Neil Heaton just needs to get through the 5th inning to qualify for a win. Is that true, RJ? I did not look at. I actually did not look at. Well, let me look at the. No, I don't have the thing up. I thought I had the original score sheet with me, line score with me, but I do not. So you're saying the Orioles actually won this game 1-0 in real life? That's interesting. Did not know that. All right, well, that was I think that was more the outlier than anything else because neither team had very good pitching. Here's Cal Ripken. The Orioles try to come back. 3 is in play, but a 67 is going to mean a ground ball to second. Lombardozzi is there. 1 down for Juan Beniquez, and of course the Orioles are missing Eddie Murray due to injury. 7 is tough. 14 struck him out. So Neil Heaton with that run support looking to get at least through the 5th inning. May let him pitch 6 if he keeps it up. Here's Dempsey. 7 is tough. 14 struck him out, so they're going to keep Heaton around for at least the 6th inning as he has been doing very well for himself. 7-4 is your score. And we'll get a new pitcher for the Orioles as Rich Bordy's day is done, and they're going to bring in right-hander Nate Snell. Snell will be coming on in 34 games. He was 2-1 with a 3.86 ERA. He's got a long relief rating, so if he's doing well, he can stay around for a couple of innings, which I think is their goal to save their bullpen. Hello, Joel. How you doing? Snell, let's wipe him off the thing here. 8 for Snell is in play, 88. That's going to be a ground ball to short. Ripken throws to Beniquez, 1 away, and that brings up Greg Gagne, number 9 hitter. At the 6, which is tough, 70. That's going to be out of range. It goes to 62. 70 is a ground ball to second. Wiggins, Johnny on the spot. 2 down for Puckett, and Puckett's been a thorn in the Orioles' side the whole game. And now with 2 outs, nobody on, they're hoping they can get through that. That is an 11, which is defense. So we're going right back to defense again, and we're checking the error rating of the right fielder. Right fielder in this case is Lee Lacy. Lee Lacy, his error rating is a 4, which is pretty good. So 4 on error rating is 1 to 40. So 1 to 40, he makes an error. Anything else, he'll make the catch. That's 29, so it will be an error And it's going to be, according to this, it's a single plus an error. So actually we'll give Puckett a single, and he'll take second on the error. So yet another hit by Kirby Puckett. And he makes it to second as Lee Lacy kind of bobbled the ball in the outfield. And the Orioles have to be careful because the Twins did a lot of damage with 2 outs earlier in the game. So not out of the woodwork yet. Snell, 10 is in play. 22, that's trouble. 22 is a base hit by Gaetti. Puckett will score automatically with 2 outs because he runs better than a 6. And again, 2-out magic by the Twins. Doing the Orioles in, it is now 8-4. And Nate Snell looking a little perplexed, thinking his defense might have let him down a little bit. 5 is in play. 94 is going to finally do it. It's a fly to right to end the inning. But the Twins put up another run. They lead it 8-4 as we go to the bottom of the 6th. And Nate Snell is going to try to go through 6 innings. I think they're going to try to cap him at 6 innings. So if they can get him through this inning, they'll be very happy, and then they'll turn it over to their bullpen, which is not all that great. Jeff Reardon didn't come along until next year. That was one of the main reasons why they went to the World Series in 87 versus 86 is because they got Dan Gladden in left field and a good leadoff hitter, and 2, they got Jeff Reardon. Those were 2 of the big moves I think they made. And of course, Frank Viola had another year of seasoning and so forth. So a couple of the many reasons why they went in 87. I think the division was down also. That might have had something to do with it as well. All right, so we will go to the bottom of the 6th with Mike Young against Heaton. Young, let's see, it's a 9, which is in play. 52. It's going to be out of range. 52 is a ground ball to third. And it's handled easily over there by Gary Gaetti. 1 away for big fat Floyd Rayford. That is a 12. That's defense. We're going back to the defensive charts. And we're looking at an error check for Gagne, the shortstop. So Gagne at short, his error chance is a 3. His error rating, I should say, is a 3. So 1-49, we got an error. That's a 30. It will be an error, and the type of error is a 1-base error. So it's a 1-base error on Greg Gagne, and big fat Floyd Rayford will waddle down to first base with 1 out for John T-Bone Shelby. Heaton just trying to get through these 6 innings if all possible. That's a 30. He's got a wild pitch at 30. That's a wild pitch. We had our second wild pitch of the game. So he uncorks one, and Rayford will waddle to second base. Heaton will try again. That's a 5, which is tough. 57. Tough 57, just out of range. 55 would have been a hit. 57's a fly to left, 2 down. And, of course, Rayford can't go anywhere. And Alan Wiggins, top of the order, trying to get it done for the Orioles. Rayford, just for kicks and giggles, Rayford's run rating is a 4. So obviously he will not get the 2-out boost automatically to score because he runs or he waddles at a 4. Heaton, 8 is in play. 59, that's going to be out. And that will be a ground ball to third. Gaetti throws over and the inning's over. So Orioles strand a runner at second. And at the end of 6, it is still 8-4, favor of the Twinks. Nate Snell back out. He'll go for 1 more inning. And then they may turn to Odell Jones. So Tom Brunansky will lead it off. It'll be Brunansky, Smalley, and Hatcher. That is a 4 in play, and that's a 0-0, so another rare play. This one, the base is empty on an in play result. So let me find the chart for bases empty in play. And we have bases empty in play right there. I'll just leave it there. Bases empty in play. Let me see if it shows up on the camera. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Okay. Roll 2 D10s, and we'll see what happens on the rare play. 57 says, batter hits a slow roller near third baseline. If the visiting team is batting, the pitcher makes a terrific barehanded throw to throw the batter out at first. If the home team is batter, the pitcher is unable to pick it up cleanly, and the batter is safe with an infield single. So, home field advantage right there, kind of baked into the game, as Nate Snell is able to make a nice play, and they get Bernansky because maybe he knows the way of the grass at Memorial Stadium or something. I don't know. But it's a nice little thing there to add something for the home team. Because a lot of games you just don't get any kind of advantage for playing at home other than the last at bat. So that's kind of a neat little thing to throw in there off the cuff. Here's Roy Smalley. 5 is in play. Again, the low numbers on the in play. 0-1. That's a double for Smalley. Twins have really taken advantage of that D20 roll being low numbers on the in play, and they've hit quite a few doubles in this game. So Smalley will double, brings up Mickey Hatcher. Again, Hatcher much less effective against righties, so Snell is going to stay in there. That is a 4, which is in play 45. In play 45 is going to be a ground ball back to the pitcher, so they'll check Smalley at second, throw to first, 2 down for Lombardozzi. Snell, that's a 5, which is in play. 76, that's definitely out of range. Fly to center, and the inning will be over. And Nate Snell escapes. He's going to pitch 2 innings. He will be done. And I believe Odell Jones will be coming on next to pitch for the Orioles. The Twins are going to say that's it for Neil Heaton. They will move on to somebody else. The Orioles have Lacey, Lynn, and Ripken, so a couple of righties coming up. So they will turn to Roy Lee Jackson. Roy Lee Jackson will be on for the Twins. He was in 28 games. He was 0-1 with a 3.86 ERA and 1 save. And he'll be facing, like I said, Lacey, Lynn, and Ripken in an 8-4 game. And I thought I had my 7th inning stretch thing set up, but obviously I didn't. So now I've got to try to figure out how to... Here we go. All right, I think we're... Well, are we ready or not? Let's see. My technical difficulties are coming back to bite me here. Don't know why it's not doing that like it's supposed to. That's one of the problems with doing live is you can't get everything to work the way you want it. When you're recording, you can pause and set it all up and all that good stuff, but apparently it's not going to let me do it this time around. I don't think. I'm using my old phone from before, and that thing usually you never can tell what's going to happen with that. All right, I think we have something here. Hold on, let's see. We might. It's possible. But then again, it might not be possible. Actually, if it wasn't, if I could get away with it without doing a copyright strike, I would do "Thank God I'm a Country Boy," because that's what the Orioles used to do at the end of the 7th inning stretch, was do that. But obviously, I don't want a copyright strike, so I will forgo that. Now I think we can do it, hopefully. Maybe. Let's see. Will it or will it not? Maybe. Yes, I think we can get it done now. Okay, after much ado and trouble, here we go. All right. And if you're curious where I found that from, on YouTube, there is a lady named, oh, I just lost it. Here we go. Let me get back. Helen Dell. She was the Dodger Stadium organist playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. That's just what I'm playing. I kind of like the way it sounds. That's what I've been using, in case you were curious. If you weren't curious, then you're wondering why I'm wasting my time telling you. All right, so bottom of the 7th we go. And Lee Lacy will be leading off against Roy Lee Jackson. Orioles in trouble. They're down 8-4, and they're running out of innings. We got an 8, which is tough. 76, that's definitely out of range. 76 is a fly to center. 1 down, and that's going to bring up Freddie Lynn. That's a 7, which is patient. 66, though, is going to be a double for Fred Lynn against lefties. How about that? 66 against a righty. 66 against a lefty would have been an out. It would have been a ground ball to short, but against a righty, that's a double. So Freddie Lynn with a double. Got the lefty out of there and brought the righty in, and Fred Lynn found that to his liking, and he cracks a double. 1 out double for Cal Ripken. I did see that pun, RJL, and the block dragon is definitely in vogue and appropriate for that one. Here's Ripken. 6 is tough. 08, though, is a strikeout. Look at those low numbers. So that's the way it's going for the Orioles. When they get tough, they get the low numbers on the D20s, on the D10s, rather, when it's a tough. And the Twins get the low numbers on the D10s when it's in play. And that's night and day. So 2 down for Beniquez. Lynn still at second. That is a 6, which is tough again, 73, and that's definitely out of range. That's going to be a ground ball to second to end the inning. Lombardozzi over to Herbeck. Nothing doing for the Orioles in the 7th. We go to the 8th. It is, oops, sorry about that. It is still 8-4. And new pitcher for the Orioles will be Odell Jones, the right-hander. Odell, not to be confused with Odell Beckham. Odell Jones, 21 games. He was 2-2 with a 3.83 ERA, and he'll be facing Tim Laudner to lead things off. So that leaves the lefty Havens in the bullpen and their closer Don Ossie in the bullpen for the Orioles. Hello, Tim, Cleveland baseball fan. How are you? Odell Jones, 6 is tough. 54, tough 54. It's a strikeout. So Laudner down on strikes. Whoops. Put him on top of the Orioles for some reason. It is now Gagne. So Gagne is your batter. That is a 8, which is patient, rather, and that's 05. So patient 05 is a walk to Gagne. So Greg Gagne draws the 1-out walk. And it seems like the Twins get base runners on every inning, just about. They're always threatening to score. They've scored in 4 of the 7 innings so far. Here's Puckett. Of course, he's been a thorn in their side. That's an 8, which is patient. 24, that's going to be a double for Kirby Puckett. He does it again. A double on a 24. Let's see if Gagne can score. On a double, runner advances 2 bases, so Gagne will stop at third. Puckett is at second with a double. Yet another double for the Twins. Second and third with 1 out for Gary Gaetti. The infield for the Orioles is going to have to play in. They have no choice. Odell Jones really needs a strikeout. 2 is defense. So we go to the defensive chart, and it's an error check on the second baseman, Wiggins. And Wiggins at second base, error is only a 2, so that's not good. So a 2 means that a 1-59 is going to be an error. That's an 18. It will be an error, and it's going to be a single plus 1. So that means both runners will score. And Gaetti is aboard. 2 runs are in for the Twins. And the hit parade continues. It is now 10-4, good buddy. Get your CBs out. It is 10-4. Gaetti now at second base, the single plus the error. And that'll bring up Kent Herbeck. So Herbeck is your batter, and Odell Jones is going to take one for the team, it looks like. 6 is tough, 64. Tough 64 is going to be a fly to left. That's out number 2. So 2 down for Tom Brunansky. Hello, Gerald. How are you doing? Nice to see you. I don't remember seeing you many times in the chat. Or that name just looks kind of new, so welcome aboard. Glad you could join. Here is Bernansky. 8 is Patient 39. Patient 39 is going to be a walk, so Bernansky will draw the 2-out walk. Keeps the inning going. Not exactly what the Orioles needed at this point, but runners at first and second with 2 outs for the designated hitter, Roy Smalley. We get a 10, which is tough 55. Tough 55, just out of range. 55 is a ground ball to third. And with 2 outs, it doesn't matter where it goes. It's just going to throw to first to end the inning. Actually, big fat Floyd Rayford waddled over to third and got the force. How about that? We'll play it that way. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 10-4. And let's see, Roy Lee Jackson will continue to pitch. He does have a long relief rating, so they'll let him keep going. And Rick Dempsey is your batter. Orioles could be looking to go to some pinch hitting here. And in fact, they will. Rick Dempsey will be called back. And they'll go to their bench and see what they can do from their bench. They got a lot of lefties on the bench. They're going to go with Larry Sheets to start things off, see if he can get on base. So we go to Larry Sheets, pinch hitting right here. And again, this is where payoff pitch shines, and inside pitch is a little bit wanting because Larry Sheets only had 26 at-bats against left-handed pitching. He hit 154, whereas against righties, he hit 282. He hit 17 of his 18 home runs against right-handers. So definitely would be penalized to face a lefty in this game, but in the other game, he would not be. But in this game here, he's facing a righty, so it doesn't matter anyway. He's going to use his good side, 282. That's a 5, which is in play. 49, that's going to be too high, though. 49 is going to be a ground ball to first. Herbeck will step on the bag, 1 away from Mike Young. Jackson, 8 is tough, 74, tough 74, just out of range. It goes up to 70, but 74 is going to be a fly to center, 2 down. And we'll save Floyd Rayford further embarrassment by pinch hitting for him with Tom O'Malley, who is normally the third baseman against righties. So Tom O'Malley will get the call to pinch hit. Tom O'Malley, a 2-out pinch hitter, hit 258 against the righties. That's a 6. 6 is tough. 67 out of range. Unfortunately, it's a fly to left to end the inning. So that'll do it for Roy Lee Jackson. I'm not going to leave him in for 3 innings to get a cheap save. I'm going to bring somebody else in. And we go to the 9th. Still a 10-4 good buddy game. And we've got O'Malley now as a third baseman. And the new catcher is Pardo. He's got catching for Dempsey, Al Pardo. He is the new catcher for Dempsey. So let's bring him on. Switch hitting catcher Al Pardo only had 51 at bats, so not very good. But he's in there to catch because they pinch hit for Dempsey. So he will bat in front of Mike Young, but I doubt it gets around that far. All right, we go to the top of the 9th, 10-4. Coming up for the Twins, it is going to be Hatcher, Lombardozzi, and Laudner. And let's see what the Orioles want to do. I don't think they want to bring in the lefty Havens, though. But the only other pitcher they have is their closer, Ossie. They might just bring him in to get an inning of work. We're going to say he hasn't pitched for a couple days, so he needs some work. So they're going to bring in Don Ossie to pitch. And Mickey Hatcher, the batter. That is a 7. That's in play. In play, that's a 29. And again, low numbers on the in play result, but even Hatcher can't do it against a righty. Against a lefty, he would have. But 29's a pop to second, and Wiggins makes the play. 1 down for Lombardozzi. We got a 9. That's tough. 20. That's a strikeout. So Don Ossie, 2 up and 2 down to face Tim Laudner. 46. That's patient. 45, and that's going to be a base hit for Tim Laudner. So can't get a 1-2-3 inning out of the Orioles to save our life, it seems like. Laudner gets that 2-out single to keep the inning going for Greg Gagne. That's a 4, which is tough. 46, struck him out to end the inning. So that's going to do it for the Twins, but they have a 10-4 lead going to the bottom of the ninth. I don't even know if RJL's ninth inning magic will help at this point. But the Twins now will go to their bullpen. And they can bring out pretty much anybody they want with a score like this. Shelby, Wiggins, and Lacey, the due-up hitters, 2 switches and a right. So they will bring on Frank Pastore, a right-hander. He was 3-1 with a 4.01 ERA in 33 games. He did have 2 saves. So he'll be on to face Shelby. And actually, Shelby will not hit. The Orioles will go to their bench. And they'll go for Jim Dwyer. Or what they sometimes call Jim Washer and Dwyer. He will pinch hit for Shelby. And he would stay in the game and play left field if it somehow miraculously goes extra innings, which ain't going to happen, but have to say it. Pastore to Dwyer. 8 is tough. 31. Struck him out. So 1 away. That brings up Alan Wiggins. And they're going to pinch hit for Wiggins with Jim Traber. So they're using all their good lefties off the bench that they can find. So Jim Traber will pinch hit for Wiggins. That leaves only Juan Bonilla left on the bench. So Traber, the pinch hitter. 7 is patient. 96, though, is going to be a fly to right. So 2 down. So the pinch hitter not catching a break there. And last man up is Lee Lacey. We get a 10, which is ballparks, and that's an 11, so it's the wheelhouse. We're in Lee Lacey's wheelhouse. 1-60, and the game continues. Anything higher than 60, the game's over. It's a 37. That's going to be a single for Lee Lacey. So he can't get the home run, but he will get a single just to avoid a 1-2-3 ninth inning. And to use the moniker of RJL, what did you expect, a 1-2-3 ninth inning? All right, here is Freddie Lynn now with 2 outs and Lacey at first. That is a 2, which is in play. 53. That's definitely out of range. 53 is a ground ball to third. Guy Eddie fields it, flips over to Lombardozzi for the force, and there's your ball game. The Minnesota Twins lay waste to the Baltimore Orioles by the score of 10-4. 10-4, good buddy. They had a convoy going with base runners, and Earl Weaver not a happy man, and neither is the Memorial Stadium crowd that's exiting the ball game, exiting the stadium. They are not happy either, as the Twins defeat the Orioles by the score of 10-4. And it was just not a good game, obviously. I was hoping for a close game, but then again, when you get teams like this, you're almost, I wouldn't say asking for trouble, but you got to get the Twins in somewhere, and this is the week I decided to put them in. Unfortunately, not a good game because I like pitchers' duels, but if you like a lot of runs, I guess it was a good thing for you. Next week, we move on to Stratomatic Super Advanced, and it will be a chance to get the Pittsburgh Pirates in for the first time. So it will be the San Francisco Giants going to Three River Stadium to take on the Pittsburgh Pirates in that one. And I'm trying to remember the pitching matchup off the top of my head. I had it now. I don't remember which one it was. I was thinking it was Candelaria. I think it's Steve Carlton. I know it's Steve Carlton for the Giants. I'm thinking it's Candelaria for the Pirates, but I could be wrong. I have to look it up. But it is definitely Steve Carlton. So in 1986, the new release of 1986 by the Stratomatic company, they issued making pitcher hitting cards and opted for more additional players to build in the set, which I like. So we're going to be using the standard pitcher hitting cards in that one. And then the week after that, we will be at Status Pro. And let me just take a quick peek and see who the Status Pro game is. Who is going to be playing Status Pro. And the Status Pro game, I think, is another effort to get an extra team in there that's not in there before. Yep, it'll be it will be, where'd it go? So I'm looking at the wrong side here. Hold on. Yep, it'll be Montreal at the Mets in Status Pro. It's our first chance to get Montreal in the game in this series. And once we get Montreal in there, that means every team will have appeared in the game at least one time on the game of the week. So Montreal is the last team to appear, and they will be facing the Mets at Shea Stadium on Status Pro. And then back to Inside Pitch on August 9th, it'll be the Dodgers at the Reds. So that's the next couple of series in the game of the week. That's the rotation as it turns out for the next couple of weeks. Carlton McWilliams, right? I don't know why I knew it was a left-hander. I don't know where I got Candelaria from. It is Carlton versus Larry McWilliams, Stratomatic Super Advanced. I'm also thinking about doing something in August, which is going to be a little bit different on Wednesdays. But it'll be uploads. It won't be live. But I'm thinking about doing Off the Wall Wednesday in the month of August. And what Off the Wall Wednesday is presenting a game I don't hardly ever play, but I have. So in that lineup, we'll feature replay baseball. It will feature triple play baseball, and it will feature pine tar baseball. And then a fourth game, either going to be action replay baseball on the computer, or it will be Fall Classic. I haven't decided yet. But in the month of no, I did not, Robert. I took Friday off. I took yesterday off to get a breather because I was rushing to get the All-Star game in, and I was rushing to get this set up here, so I just didn't have time to do it. So I need to finish playing those two games against Montreal to finish out that series before I set everything up against Milwaukee. So next Friday will be Fictional Friday with the Buffalo Bees. So no, you didn't miss anything. I did not do it. In fact, in the All-Star game on Inside Pitch, I mentioned that I probably wouldn't do one this Friday. But next Friday, I will definitely do one. And what would be really neat, if I could pull it off to get him to do it, or if there's a way to do it or not, I would love to do, because after Milwaukee, I'm playing New England Minutemen again. So I would love to somehow get Steve Tower on the video with me and do a live version of it somehow. I don't know. Or if not, at least get him to give me the lineup so I can use the lineup he would like instead of making up my own lineup. But in the month of August on Wednesdays, what I plan on doing is Off the Wall Wednesday. First week of the first Wednesday in August will most likely be replay baseball. The second week will most likely be pine tar baseball. The third one would be triple play. And then the fourth one is either going to be action PC or it's going to be Fall Classic. And the only Fall Classic I have is the teams that I printed off for free, the 2016 World Series. So I might do that. Haven't decided yet. I've been watching a lot of videos on Fall Classic, and it's kind of piqued my interest again for some strange reason. I know it doesn't resonate with RJL all that much, but I know some people like Tony Porter, Cards and Dice, Al Red Sox fan, I think, and Anthony from Bleach Bums Gaming and IDJ all love Fall Classic. So I may try to do something with that. I'm not sure. I might even buy a PDF season. I don't know for sure what I want to do with that. But if I don't, it would be action PC on the computer. But just something to do, just something as a one-time thing in August, and Off the Wall Wednesday. Still going to be doing the next week. I'm still going to be doing the at least probably starting Series 10 in the Demolition League. Once I get all the Series 9 games out of the way, be starting up with Season 10, which is the second half of the season. It'll be 26 games in. 27 games in with 27 more to go. And then, of course, on Fictional Friday, we'll have the Bees playing Milwaukee Barrelmen in History Maker Baseball. And then next Saturday on Stratomatic Super Advanced, it will be the Giants against the Pirates, Steve Carlton against Larry McWilliams. That's interesting, RDL. You say it's an excellent game, but it just wasn't for you. That's kind of interesting. Some of the things that it's kind of like it's a lot like APA, which is kind of like a turnoff, but they have a lot of interesting little idiosyncrasies, like things like you have to check and see if the infielder has a strong arm or not, if they complete a double play. It just, to me, it's got a lot of idiosyncrasies on it. Brand, you say it becomes addictive. That could be. The left-right split is the only thing on there that stood out for me. I do like the fact that you do a bullpen session and get the pitcher grade, and they can alternate between A, B, and C. I do like the fact that the fast action cards seem to make it go a lot better than reading the charts. But a lot of the what they call crazy plays, or it's just a lot of things when I was watching other people's videos. Yes, sportsman. Yeah, I think the chances are pretty good that Floyd Rayford will not see this video, or maybe anybody at Floyd Rayford's family will probably not see the video. But yeah, you could probably tell I was not a Floyd Rayford fan, and he didn't stick around with the Orioles too long. I don't believe. I think he came up with the Cardinals in the early '80s, and somehow he managed to get to the Orioles. And I think he was with the Orioles for like maybe 3 years, 84, 85, and 86. By 87, I believe he was gone. So, yeah, Floyd Rayford, not one of my favorite players, as you might imagine. With the Giants and the Pirates next week on Stratomatic Super Advanced, kind of a foreshadowing. Barry Bonds did not start that game. He's on the roster, but against the lefty Carlton, he's on the bench. But, of course, it's kind of foreshadowing Bonds going to San Francisco. 10-4 here, big blowout, nothing great. Yeah. He's listed at that height and weight, but he's definitely over 200 pounds. Just watching his videos, there's no way he's under 200 pounds. I mean, I'm 200 pounds. So I know he's bigger than me, so he's got to be. Well, I was 200 pounds before COVID. Then when I got COVID, I got dropped down to 185. Now I'm right around 190 myself, but he's bigger than me. I can tell you that, and I'm 5'8". I don't think he's 5'10" either. I think he's more like 5'8", 5'9". I think his true height and weight is probably like 5'9" and maybe 200, maybe 205, something like that. But this is not a Floyd Rayford vendetta. It's just I just never really cared for him. I didn't think he had much talent. I'm not sure why the Orioles kept him around, but somebody saw something. I'm not sure what it was, but he looked more like a catcher than a third baseman. I think he did come up as a catcher, but maybe for some reason they put him at third base. I don't know why. Floyd Rayford, not Roy Flayford. That was a Freudian slip there, RJL. Maybe I didn't have enough coffee this morning. I don't know. Anyway, like I said, it's a shame that the game didn't go a lot closer. I usually enjoy two things. I enjoy close games and pitching duels, and this one won't it. But I thought it was easier to do the fast action cards than to try to show the charts on the camera. So that's why I went with the fast action cards today. Normally when I play this game, I play it with charts. But the beauty of this game is you can do either or a hybrid. And I do enjoy the printed versions better than the PDFs, but I just happen to have the PDF of 86. I didn't have the printed version of 86. So I had to go with what I had. And I didn't see any point in buying the 86 printed version when I already had the PDF. It seemed like overkill to me. If I'm going to spend the money, I'd rather get a season I don't have. So that's just me being tight and cheap, or whatever you want to call it. But anyway, I do appreciate. Hello, Philip Reynolds. Good to see you. Yeah, Brandon, it's the first time I've seen that home field advantage rule come into play. There's probably a whole lot more on those rare plays. I like the fact that they break the rare plays down into different sections, whether it be tough, in play, wheelhouse, stuff like that. I think that adds a lot of flavor to it. Yes, let's hope Joe Bryan gets better soon. I want to see those printed sets back online, and I want to see Joe Bryan doing much, much better health-wise. Great game, and great customer service out of him, as well as Chris from Inside Pitch and Keith from History Maker Baseball. I think those are the top three as far as customer services goes. Haven't had a whole lot of dealings with replay, so I don't know if I'm assuming Pete Ventura has good customer service as well. Although, like I said, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with them like I have with the others. Mostly I use Replay Baseball for the computer version to score other games, which is kind of sad, but that's what I do. Although I do have several seasons in Replay Baseball cards and dice, and I do enjoy pulling them out once in a while. But I kind of got the Payoff pitch, inside pitch, and of course Stratomatic flavor going on, as well as History Maker Baseball. And the more I play inside pitch, I think RJL may be affecting me here because I may be moving inside pitch to my number one game now ahead of Stratomatic, just because how fun it is, how nice the cards are. You get all the players. There's a lot of arguments there. The only thing I think Stratomatic has on them is their player ratings. Other than that, Stratomatic doesn't have a thing on inside pitch or any other game. Their ratings are the only thing that really, their ratings and the tradition of people playing that growing up, memories and whatnot. I think the nostalgia factor and the ratings are the only two things I can think of that Stratomatic has on either one of these games. The component quality for the player cards in Payoff pitch is second to none, and then inside pitch, really colorful cards. The only thing I guess that would have been nicer if they could have done on Payoff pitches was to put team colors. I know they have a little stripe now for the printed sets where you get the little colored stripe down the middle, but it'd be nicer if they could somehow, I know they can't use logos because it would cost them too much money and all that stuff, but it's probably legal stuff or whatever, but it would just be nicer if they were a little more colorful like the inside pitch ones are. I mean, when I look down an inside pitch card, I don't have to guess what team they're on. I mean, I can just look at the color and know who they're on. Whereas on Stratomatic and Payoff pitch, I've got to look around and see what team, what team name is showing up here. Whereas just off the corner of my eye, I can see, if I see a bright orange and black one, I know it's either going to be the Giants or the Orioles right off the bat. So just everybody has their own likes and dislikes. I like all of them. I mean, there's not a game out there I dislike. It's just some I like more than others. But I appreciate all those that created these games and took the time to think of these things and give us the enjoyment that we do have. It says, no, it's true, RJL, it's true. Or as Kurt Angle would say, it's true, oh, it's damn true. If you're a wrestling person, you know who Kurt Angle is. But anyway, I do think that. And I will be buying, I probably won't be buying too many more Stratomatic card sets. I've got too many of them already. I'm trying to get rid of a few of them, actually. Trying to sell a few that I have. But I'd rather get the inside pitch season sets, from my opinion. Yep, Jim, there are a whole lot of them, and I learned a lot by watching people play video games of them. I believe I learned about inside pitch from ID Jester. I think I learned about Payoff pitch from either one of the Earl, either Tabletop Earl or Steve Tower. I'm not sure which one. And I learned about Fall Classic, I believe, from Tony. It's the first time I was exposed to Fall Classic. And History Maker, of course, from Steve Tower and Al Wilson. I learned about that game from those two guys. So, yeah, I learned about a lot. And Pine Tar, I think I learned, who did I learn Pine Tar from? I think it was Tabletop Earl. I saw playing Pine Tar. So, yeah, there's different games out there, a flavor for everybody. There's no right or wrong. It's just having fun. Whatever you have fun with, whatever game you choose to play, as I like to say at the end of all the videos. I mean it. I mean, it's a hobby, so it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a dread. It's not supposed to be, competition between games. It's just whatever you feel like. I mean, sometimes I get an itch for one, and you did buy Pine Tar. Okay, yeah, I bought Pine Tar, and I have the 1982 season in Pine Tar. It's okay. For me personally, there's not enough pitcher interaction. It's a lot like APA, but they do have a couple of good nuances where they give the pitchers home and road grades. So a pitcher's home home stats can be on there to take effect that he's at home or road. But to me, it's a lot like APA. but there's just not a whole lot of pitcher interaction unless you roll multiples of 5. The pitcher is not really going to be involved. So that's the one part that kind of takes away from that. And for me, but some other people, it doesn't bother them a bit. And that's the beauty of the hobby. Everything's the way you like it, you know. And for all those out there that watch these videos and are thinking about, you know, maybe starting your own YouTube channel with playing cards and dice, go for it. I mean, what do you got to lose? I mean, I think it's fun. I mean, it's a supportive community, so you don't have to have the best equipment. You don't have to have, you know, you don't try to be a sports announcer or anything. You just present what you have, kind of be a narrator and say, this is what I have and this is what we got going on. And I think if you try it, I think you'll enjoy it. I encourage you to do that. Stratomaker, yes, I did experiment with Stratomaker. Didn't get very far with it, but I was just trying to be creative at one point and trying to incorporate umpires and different things into Stratomag to kind of give it a little flavor. So that was kind of interesting when I did that. I totally forgot about that actually until you mentioned it. But yeah, I did do Stratomaker. I think there's like one video out there on it a while back that I did it. But yeah, that was just one of my experiments, I guess you want to call it. The things that would make Inside Pitch and Payoff Pitch better to me is if Inside Pitch had a computer game. I'm sorry, if Payoff Pitch had a computer game, and if Inside Pitch had a computer game that had AI. That would be the two big things. Yep, 1961 Inside Pitch Monday night. Is that going to be at 7 or 8 Eastern? Which one is that? Do you know the start time, Robert? And yes, Jim, the umpires, the only game, History Maker is the only game that has the umpires, and it is definitely an interesting touch. 8 p.m., gotcha. 8 p.m., White Sox and Senators from D.C. Be there, be square, as RJL would say. 8 p.m. Monday night. It will be a whole lot more entertaining than Monday Night Raw. I will guarantee you that. No comparison there. RJL is going to be much more entertaining than Vince McMahon and his stuff he puts on the air nowadays. So what else you go watch on Monday night but RJL? So it will be a fun one to follow, and RJL is the master at inside pitch presentation. He's the king of that. Steve Towers kind of the king of the History Maker baseball presentations. So when those guys are on, it's just you're watching the best at it in those particular games. It's not much of a competition on Home Run Derby. I think a lot of people don't care about modern baseball that much anyway, so I know I don't. So I will certainly be watching that. Yep, Tenacious Earl is the king of History Maker Golf, although I tell you what, Replay Gamer is doing very well with History Maker Golf as well, so I like watching both of theirs. Tenacious Earl hasn't been on much lately. Hopefully he gets back to doing some videos soon. But yeah, he's got a complete tutorial. I think it's a 4-video set tutorial in History Maker Golf. So I will definitely be watching those if and when I buy the History Maker Golf game. I really want to buy that to add it to my collection because it just looks like it's gotten rave reviews, and every time I watch people playing it, they say how fun it is. I know RJL had History Maker Golf and did some History Maker Golf videos as well. I assume he liked the game also. I haven't heard anybody say they haven't liked it. So yeah. Yep, Replay Gamer is, I kind of like his little, I don't know what it's called. I forget the name of it now, but it's kind of like his updates or whatever. It's not really a game sometimes. Sometimes it's just, he has a name for it, and I'm drawing a blank on it. But it's like little tidbits or something. I forget what he calls it, but Tabletop Talk, you got it. That's exactly right. That's what I like to see. I am with you, Jim. Especially now in 2021 with no more pitchers hitting, and the runner on second base rule and all that crap. to me, baseball kind of died after the 2019 season. So I'm not going to buy anything that's 2019 and up. Well, I pretty much got everything from 2019, so I'm not buying anything 2018 and up. Everything I get will probably, if I buy any more future stuff, it's going to probably be 1990s or maybe some 1970s if I have gaps to fill. Yeah, how about your Mets? They beat the Braves 2 out of 3, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, they got Scherzer back, which definitely helps. He definitely put the kibosh on the Braves there, I think. But of course, trading deadline, that's what happened to the Braves last year. They took off after making some shrewd trades at the trade deadline. They got some good guys that helped them out and helped them get to the World Series and win it. So you never know what's going to happen there. Hopefully, there will be no more variants coming along in COVID that will cause any problems with the baseball season where they have to miss any games or anything. Hopefully, that's in the past now. I would hope. But yeah, British Open right now, I'll be curious to go back and watch that later on this evening. Watch the replay probably on Peacock or something. I don't know if watch it live on NBC or not. Depends on what's going on. But I always enjoy watching the British Open or links type golf. It's kind of something different compared to always watching the tour on the U.S. Yeah, I don't know what happened to the Reds. They had one of my favorite players last year. Jonathan India was one of my favorite players. Watching him last year, I'm not sure what happened to him this year. But and I even have the MLB package because I have T-Mobile, and that's one of the perks you get for T-Mobile is you get the free baseball season. So every once in a while, I'll plop up a game on there just to see what's going on. But I'm definitely not as much of a fan as I used to be. That's for sure. So, yeah, 61 is definitely going to be an interesting season. I may have to go watch that movie 61 that Billy Crystal did again just to kind of refresh my memory. I know the Yankees opened with the Twins when they started. But I think it mostly focused on the American League, so I don't really know a whole lot about the National League. Although all I know is the Reds were in the World Series and they had a really good team. But other than that, I don't know a whole lot about the National League in 1961. I know the Pirates were still pretty good from coming off that World Series win in 1960, but I don't know a whole lot about everything else. Alexa, huh? Okay, that's cool. Hopefully, RJO, when you start your 61 on Monday night, hopefully we can keep Morgana out of the building. That would be nice. We don't need to see any Morgana appearances. I think she's been coming around too much during the past season, but I think lately she's been away, so hopefully she'll stay away. Brandon, yes, I do like the 61 movie. I thought Barry Pepper looked just like Roger Maris. The guy that played Mantle, he was okay. But I thought Barry Pepper stole the show playing Maris because he just had that look. I mean, just had the look. She will show up for Steeler fan. Okay, well, hopefully Steeler fan can encourage her not to show up because we would prefer not to have Morgana showing up in the chat when we don't need Morgana showing up in the chat. I've got the 61 movie on Blu-ray, and so I do like watching the extras, seeing how it was filmed, how they took old Tiger Stadium, and kind of remodeled it and made it look like old Yankee Stadium with do a whole lot of painting and everything else. And of course, they used some CGI to put some other things in there. But I did like the way it was done. I thought Billy Crystal did a really good job with that movie. Of course, I think he said he grew up in that era and he knew all the lineups by heart and everything like that. So. But the expansion teams, the Senators expansion team and the California Angel expansion team, that kind of thinned the pitching out, and that's what helped, plus the addition of the extra 8 games. Yeah, I didn't care much for the Guardian thing. What I don't get is if the Indians' name was offensive, then how can the Atlanta Braves not be offensive? I mean, the Braves are the ones that have the chop and all that stuff and the war chants and all that thing. Where to me, the Indians only had the name Indians. I mean, they took away the little caricature guy and put a C in there, and I thought that was going to appease everybody, but apparently it didn't. But yeah, I'm not. Guardians do nothing for me. I'm not going to even deal with them. Same with the Commanders in football. That just doesn't even sound right to me at all. World Series of Poker, huh? Yeah, every once in a while I'll flip something on and that'll be on there, but I don't really understand poker all that much, the way they play it. Yep, they're still a tribe. I believe, to me, they're still the Indians. If I hadn't done the History Maker one, what I was going to do is, because I bought the 2021 season set in History Maker Baseball, I was going to do a Cleveland Indians replay and call it The Last of the Mohicans, but decided against that and went with the fictional instead. But yeah, it's a shame, all that history. Yeah, Indianapolis Indians, that's AAA. I mean, Richmond Braves used to play them all the time in the International League, and I never saw any problem with it back then. I mean, people are just too uptight, and it's like this, snowflake mentality of anything that I think people go out of their way looking for stuff to be offended by nowadays. But I don't want to get too much into political stuff, but it's just my observation that people are kind of going out of their way to try to find something that's offensive. So, yep, the AAA of the Pittsburgh Pirates. In fact, when I used to watch them back in the early 2000s, I think Cecil Cooper actually managed that team. But I do remember watching some of those guys. Like I said, if you're going to say the Indians are offensive, then you got to get rid of the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to get rid of the Atlanta Braves. I mean, to me, that's just, if one's offensive, then the other. How can one be offensive and one not be offensive? I don't understand the offensive mentality. To me, if I'm offended by one, I ought to be offended by all of them. But of course, shouldn't be offended by anything. But yeah, Victory Field is one of the better fields in the International League. Also, like the one in Toledo, I think it's still called. It used to be called Fifth Third Bank Field. I'm not sure what it's called now, but I thought Toledo had one of the better fields as well. Of course, Richmond has the crappy old Diamond, which is why the team left, because they wouldn't get a new stadium. So that's why they're down in Georgia now, because the city can't get their act together to build a new stadium. So it happens, and we live with it. And we used to have hockey here, but the Coliseum is pretty much a wreck. So the whole city's pretty much a wreck. The government in Richmond just doesn't do crap. So everything goes away. No more concerts, no more hockey, and pretty soon no more baseball, I imagine. So anyway, that's a sad story, and just the way it is. I'm sure every principality has their own things they wish the government would do. Noble Piercy, how you doing? Yeah, I would think the indigenous people, Native Americans, whatever you want to call them, would be honored to have somebody. Now, maybe the Redskins one, I can maybe see that one, but certainly the Indians and the Braves and the Chiefs, you would think they would not be offended by that. In fact, truth be told, I mean, I don't think the Native American people are the ones that are necessarily offended by this stuff. I think it's just certain people. Again, I don't want to get political, but I think it's certain groups of people that just want to go out and find excuses to be offended about something. I guess they got nothing better to do but to find fault in things. So that's just my opinion. All right, I'm not much of a chatter, as you can figure out. I do well, I guess, just to talk during the games, but I'm not really a huge chatting person, and as you can also tell, I don't like to be on camera either. So let's see, what time is it anyway? It's almost 1:45 here on the East Coast, and I'm sure the wife is probably wanting me to get some honeydew stuff done. got to clean up a little bit and then take the trash to the dump and stuff like that. So, and I want to get to. Yep, Jim, I agree. I saw somebody do that once with the red skin potato. That would be interesting. Well, Larry, I mean, some people will disagree with me on that, but everybody's got everybody. I think everybody has a right to their opinion, whether it's someone else thinks it's right or wrong. I think everybody should be able to express their opinion. I don't think anybody should be canceled, as they say. That like Facebook will cancel you if you put something up there they don't like. I believe in free speech for everybody, as long as you're not using vulgar terms or something. But if you're just expressing an opinion, I think you should have the right to express that opinion, and whether anybody else agrees with it is almost irrelevant. You have a right to make your opinion, but again, you don't have a right to be heard, because people have a right to tune you out if they disagree with your opinion, but you do have the right to express your opinion. All right. Just like ID has a right to rant, and most of us love his rants, and nobody rants like IDJ, that's for sure. I was thinking about this the other day. I might do a quick video called the Tubies and give out awards for like the best at certain things, and obviously ID would be the tops of the best rant award. I would do like maybe other games, like best history maker player would be Steve Tower, and best inside pitch player, the winner, the Tubi for the inside pitch player of the game, or player of the video producer or whatever, would be RJL, and just do something. I thought it might be a little fun. I don't know, but yeah, Larry, I have to get that done. I've been graciously given time away by myself to be able to do these things like this, so I want to make sure I don't shirk my duties, so that I'm allowed this time to be by myself, to kind of get away from things and get away from the world, and get in my own little world and do my hobby. So definitely have to do what needs to be done, and then that way, work now, play later kind of thing. Although I kind of did it backwards today, because I wanted to get this in early and then get my stuff done after the fact. I didn't want to be rushing and trying to get this done. I wanted to have this set up before I got started, so that I could not be rushed trying to get this thing done. A lot of times on Saturdays I'm playing another game, usually a Demolition League game. I'm trying to wrap it up before noon so I can get that board out of the way and bring in the new board and the new cards. And sometimes it's just goes like a chicken with your head cut off, trying to make that 12 o'clock time frame. And today I was more relaxed, and I just had plenty of time, so decided to do it this way and do the chores after the fact. As long as they get done, I guess it doesn't matter when you do them. So, all right, folks, it is about 10 minutes to 2 or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off and let everybody enjoy the rest of their Saturday. I appreciate everybody that came in and spent time with me. Wow, Brandon, you got a lot of stuff going on there, don't you? All those games. All right, remember, everybody, on Monday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, tune in to RJL Inside Pitch 1961 season. The opener, the White Sox against the Washington Senators. Be there or be square, as RJL would say. Want to have a good crowd come out to Griffith Stadium to watch that. And might see some ninth inning magic. Yes, Jim, all these stadiums that are printed out right here are from Al Wilson on the free site of History Maker Baseball. Under play.com, you go to the free site. Al Wilson has all these available for just about every stadium that's ever been made. And, of course, the old Memorial Stadium doesn't look as good as some of the newer ones do. But, yeah, you can certainly print them out. And I print them out on photo paper, and they're there free to be used. So that's where I get them from. Well, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate that. But I learned from the best, I guess. I've learned watching. When I was first starting this, the only guys that were out on video were Steve Tower, Al Wilson, and Tabletop Earl. I think IDJ had just started, so I didn't have a lot to go on. So, and when I started out, of course, equipment was horrible, presentation was horrible, but hopefully over the years, over the 6 or 7 years I've been doing this, that it's gotten better. RJL did convince me that it is a visual medium, so rather than play games with the score sheet in front of me or is the only thing showing, I figured it's better to do as much presentation and show as much things as possible, which is why I do the lineups and the bullpens and the base runners and all that good stuff. Trying to be as colorful and whatever as I can because I think it adds to the presentation. So I do agree with RJL on that. All right, folks. I want you all to have a great Saturday. Enjoy the weekend and stay safe out there. And probably my next video will probably be sometime in the middle of the week. It'll probably be one of the Demolition League games that's going to start out Series 10. And, of course, on Friday, we'll be back at it with History Maker Baseball, Buffalo Bees against the Milwaukee Barrelmen. And next Saturday, Super Advanced Stratomatic, Pittsburgh Pirates hosting the San Francisco Giants. But the next video of importance, I guess, or major importance, is Monday night for RJL and his season opener 1961, along with the world-famous 10-minute ticker. Don't forget that at the end of the game. So make sure you stick around after the game is over so you can see the 10-minute ticker. And if you haven't seen the 10-minute ticker before using Fast Score Baseball, it's a really good mechanism, and RJL explains it very well and shows it very well. And a lot of people like to watch that at the end. In fact, I think some people want the video to get out of the way so they can get the 10-minute ticker as soon as possible. I think maybe that's in jest, but I know some people really have made comments about that. I guess I'm assuming they're just teasing about that. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and call it an afternoon and get ready to do what I have to do the rest of the day to get my work done so that I can enjoy the evening. Again, thanks to everybody who came in, and thanks to everybody who's watching this later. Somehow, I don't know how in the world I managed to do it, but somehow I managed to hit 1,500 subscribers, and that's just blows my mind. When I started this thing, I remember the first time when I first started, I got so excited when I got my 100th subscriber. I was ecstatic. And I was like, I'll never get, whatever. But and I don't really look at the numbers all that much. I just happened to notice it flip over on my thing, and it just blows my mind. I mean, it's just weird in a good way, but it's just, I guess, I don't know, maybe people are like me that they just tune out a lot of the TV, and YouTube is becoming the new TV now. I watch more YouTube than I do TV, so maybe that's part of it. And I do enjoy watching other channels play their games, particularly when I'm at work. I like to have it on the background. Kind of gives me I can listen to somebody play while I'm working, and it's just something to get my mind excited to play a game when I get home from work. So yes, we know the 10-minute ticker can be rigged, although RJL says it's not rigged. But there have been rigging accusations, but I don't know. We shall see. There are no Houston Astros, so I don't know what Steeler fans going to do when there are no Houston Astros. But that's what 61 had. That's the season they got picked. Now, if 92 had been picked, obviously you had the Astros, but not in 61. But I'm glad 61 got picked out. I think it's interesting to see a game played with the 1960s. You're going to get pitchers pitching complete games, and you're not going to have 15 home runs a game. The home runs are actually going to mean something, and I just think it'll be neat to have the 60s roll out there. So, and looking forward to RJL. Wishing him good luck on his 61 replay, and be sure to check out anybody who has a channel and try to support them as much as you can. Whether, I can't really go through all the channels because I'll forget somebody. And now my phone somebody's trying to call me. That's a disadvantage of using your phone to record. Scam likely, so. It says scam likely, so that's why I turned it off there. So anyway, I'm getting too close here, aren't I? One of these days I might get a webcam, but for now I'm just have my phone, so that's all I can do. Let's see something here. Let me try something. Come over here. There's Gracie. She's still hanging in there. Back leg's giving her a little bit of trouble, but she is able to walk. She is able to use the bathroom on her own and eat on her own. I do need to help her down the steps. But other than that, she seems to be doing all right. On the other side of the chair over there, let me move. It's a messy room, unfortunately, so I don't want to show too much of it because it's kind of messy. But over here is Tabby, otherwise known as Tabby. I don't want to show the litter box, but there's Tabby right there getting her rest. She kind of stayed away from the game for a while. As I'm playing the game, my setup, that's kind of what I'm using this thing here that holds my phone and shoots down, and there's the dice tray, and then over here is the computer that I have with the thing on. So that's kind of my setup. It's kind of an inside look, not that you wanted to see that, but when the phone rang, that's what happened when I took this thing off. And the microphone I bought, this is the little microphone I'm using right now. So like I said, it's not exactly the highest tech thing in the world, but it works okay for me, I guess, so far. All right, let's go do it from here. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and get busy with doing what I need to do. Again, final score, 10-4 Twins rout the Orioles. Yeah, Floyd Rayford. Great guy, isn't he, Kenyon? All right, everybody, have a great day and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.